Doctor friends, today let's see remaining salient features of Indian Constitution. In our last class, we have seen the first six salient features, that is lengthiest written constitution, second preamble of the constitution, fundamental rights of Indian citizens, fundamental duties of Indian citizens, parliamentary form of government, federal structure with unitary spirit. Next, let's see today directive principles of state policy. You can call it as a DPSP. In short, you can call it as DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy. Part 4 of Indian Constitution, Article 36 to 51 deals with directive principles of state policy. So, these directive principles of state policy, or you can say DPSP, has been borrowed from Irish Constitution, Ireland. The concept of DPSP is borrowed from the Irish Constitution. These DPSPs are the complementaries to fundamental rights. So, what we do not get in fundamental rights can be get in the directive principles of the state policy. So, these directive principles of state policies are non-justiciable. As you all know that the fundamental rights are justiciable rights. Justiciable means you can get, or if you do not get the fundamental rights, you can claim it as a right and you can go to the court. But here these rights, these directive principles are only guidelines given by the constitution to government in existence. So they are non-justiciable. For completion of these, you cannot move to the court or you cannot claim them as a rights. So these DPSPs or directive principles are divided in three categories, three types. So one is Gandhian principle, second is socialistic principle, third is liberal principles. The main aim of these three is to bring welfare state or to bring all-round development of the people, welfare of the people. So that is it is a guideline in this Gandhian principles. So some of the important directive principles are, that is to stop alcoholic practices or to ban on the slaughter of cow, and socialistic development of the cottage industries or liberal principles. So these type of right to adequate means of livelihood or equal pay for the equal work. So these all aims to bring all-round development or welfare of the people. So these completion of these directive principles is based on the situation available or the resources available. So directive principles aims to provide public employment to all people, but it is not possible to provide employment to all possible because the situation, the conditions do not permit, or to ban on the alcoholic practices. So sometimes it is not possible to ban on the alcoholic practice by the government, or to ban on drugs. So these type of directive principles are directions given by the constitution to the state. State in the sense the government existing. So it may be central government, it may be state government, or it may be local governments. So this is a direction or a guideline given by the constitution. Next, the 8th number is independence of judiciary. Article 50 of Indian Constitution, with a view to impart impartial judgment, because India is a federal state. Here there is a classification of power between the center and the state. So many times there may be any complications between the center and the state, or state and state, or one state versus many state, or many state versus one state versus center. So in this type of complications may arise, disputes may arise. So in case of this, there must be an impartial judgment making body, and with the view to provide impartial judgment, this independent judiciary has been established. This concept of independent judiciary is borrowed from England. So here, so we have an single integrated judicial system. Single integrated means Supreme Court is the apex court, highest court in the center. High Court is the second court in the every state, and then at district level or at the local level, taluka level, there are other lower courts. So decisions given by every court is accepted in the other court. Suppose the decisions given in the taluka court is accepted or respected in the district court. Decisions of the district court are respected in the high courts, and the decisions of the high courts are respected in the Supreme Court. That is called as single integrated judicial system from bottom to top. So that is one of the important judicial system or one of the important feature of our constitution. Next, here Indian constitution provides single citizenship. Since India is a federal state, and this federation divides the center and state. It gives birth to two states or two powers, one in the center and one in the state. But though India is a federal state, only the powers are divided between, for the administrative purpose, the powers are divided between center and state. But we all enjoy only one citizenship, that is a national citizenship. We are not citizens of any particular state. For example, we are not citizens of Karnataka, Maharashtra or Andhra. We all are called as citizens of India. That is an Indian citizenship. National citizenship is provided. If you see in the other states, for example in America is a federal state. And since there is a division of powers or division of states also, there gets two citizenship. One is the citizenship of America, that is central citizenship, and another is the citizenship of a state where a citizen stays in a particular state. So the dual citizenship is available. But in India, though India is a federal state, that is what Indian Federation is entirely different from the federation of other states. Federal system of India is entirely different from the system of America, because here we do not have an agreement between the states. But in other states, there is an agreement between the states to live together. Article 1 of Indian Constitution deals, it says that there is India shall be an union of states. It never mentions it's a federation, but it mentions an union of states. So it is union. Article 5 to 11 of Indian Constitution, under the part 1, part first, it deals with the citizenship. So here there are various types of the citizenship given. That is, we can see two methods of the citizenship. One is a natural method and naturalization. Natural is by birth we can get the citizenship, and by naturalization is artificial method, by completion of some formalities, official formalities, we can acquire the citizenships. But here we have a one citizenship, that is Indian citizenship. But in America, in Switzerland, they enjoy the dual citizenship. One is the central citizenship and another is the citizenship of a state. But in India it is not possible. Only single citizenship is available. And that is what we all are proud to be an Indian citizen. That is, next, emergency provisions or emergency powers, with a view to meet with the unforeseen situations, some critical situations arising during the administration or during any other situations. So some emergency provisions have been made by the Constitution. Part 18 of the Constitution deals with this emergency powers. The concept of emergencies has been borrowed from the German Constitution. It has been borrowed from the Germany. So part 18 of our Constitution deals with the three types of the emergency powers. One is Article 352, that is national emergency. When the national emergency can be declared? National emergency can be declared when there is any stake to the national sovereignty, when there is a danger to the national sovereignty due to war, external aggressions, or due to internal troubles or any internal natural calamities. So whenever the national sovereignty is in danger, the President of India, with the consultation of Parliament, so national emergency can be declared. Till the date, 3 times national emergency is declared. One in 1965, 1971 during the 2 wars between India and Pakistan, and one is the 3rd time in 1975 Indira Gandhi declared the emergency. Then state emergency, Article 356 deals with the state emergency, or it may be also called as a constitutional emergency. This constitutional emergency arises due to the failure of constitutional machinery in the state or in the center. So during this time it is also called as a presidential rule. So when the constitution or when the government of the state fails to prove its majority, it fails to establish the stable government, Article 356 can declare the state emergency, or it can be called as a presidential rule in the state. So within the 6 months of time that would be passed in the Parliament. So up to the day, more than 70 times state emergencies has been declared in the country, in India or in any states like. Next, the third type of emergency power is financial emergency. Article 360 deals with the financial emergency. Financial emergency arises due to the financial bankruptcy. Whenever the financial condition of the state is in danger due to any other reasons, bankruptcy or any other financial problems, it calls for the financial emergency. The President has the power to declare the financial emergency. But till the date, Indian economy has not faced such kind of any emergencies, and in India till the date no financial emergency has been declared, because our financial condition is so strong. Next, number 11, that is universal adult franchise, or it is also called as universal adult suffrage. What is universal adult franchise, or what is universal adult suffrage? This is nothing but it is a rights of voting given to all Indian citizens who cross the age of 18 years. Only the condition is he must be citizen of India and he must have completed the age of 18. Here, irrespective of his caste, creed, religion, language, education or property or any gender, no any other discrimination is made to grant this right of voting. Only condition is he must be citizen of India, he must have attained the age of 18. So in up to 1989 the age of voting was 21. It was 21, but in the year 1989 the age limit for the voting is reduced to 18 with the 91st constitutional amendment. It has been reduced to 18 years, and at present any Indian citizen who has attained the age of 18 can enjoy the rights of voting. So by the rights of voting you can participate in the elections and you can select your own government to rule over the state. Next, the most important feature of the Indian Constitution is Panchayat Raj system. This Panchayat Raj system, in fact, this system was not included in the original Constitution, but Panchayat Raj system has been added to the Constitution in the year 1993 with the 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment. In fact, in the year 1956, Balwant Mehta committee suggested for the establishing of three-tier Panchayat Raj system, but it was not implemented properly. Only the few states, including Rajasthan and Karnataka, were the few states to implement the three-tier Panchayat Raj system in the year initially. But next, again in the year 1976, Ashok Mehta Committee established to study the development of Panchayat Raj system and rural local bodies, or it is called as a decentralization of the powers. And in this, Ashok Mehta Committee also suggested for the establishing of three-tier Panchayat system. And with this recommendation, 63rd and 64th constitutional amendment was brought to the Parliament, but this 63rd and 64th constitutional amendment failed to give a legal status to Panchayat Raj. And then after then in 1993, when the P.V. Narasimha Rao government, P.V. Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister of India, he brought 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment, and in this 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment of 1993, it granted three-tier Panchayat Raj system. It gave a legal status to Panchayat Raj. Three-tier means division of powers into three. In fact, Article 73rd constitutional amendment grants rural local bodies. In this rural local bodies, there are three steps. That is Gram Panchayat, Taluka Panchayat, and Zilla Panchayat. It comes under the 73rd constitutional amendment. Rural local bodies. Urban local bodies contains town panchayat or city corporations, city municipalities, and one more is BBMPs, Brahan Municipal Parishad or panchayats. So in this way, 74th constitutional amendment gave a legal status to urban local bodies. That is also one of the important feature of our Indian Constitution. Next, the method of amendment. Part 20 of Indian Constitution, Article 360A, deals with the three types of the amendments. What is amendment? Amendment is nothing but change in the existing constitutions. So to bring a change, changing the constitution is not so easy. As you all know that Indian constitution is semi-rigid and semi-flexible. Which part is rigid and which part is flexible? Here there are two types of laws in the constitution. One is original constitutional laws or original law, that is called as constitutional laws, which is under the original structure of the constitution, and the second part is called as legislative laws or laws made by the parliament. So if you want to bring in, change into the constitutional laws, it means absolute two-third majority. Absolute two-third majority. That is, two-third members of the parliament must present and vote in favor of the change. Then only it may be brought into change, implementation. Then second type of amendment is simple majority. Simple two-third majority amendment. In this simple two-third majority can be brought in the legislative part. That is, the first part is constitutional law and second law is legislative law. Under this legislative law, this simple majority is applicable. Simple two-third majority in the parliament. By this simple two-third majority, any ordinary law or any law can be amended or changed. And the third type of the amendment is, along with the two-third absolute two-third majority, there must be more than 50% of the state ratification of the states. That is, ratification of the state means more than 50% of states of Indian Union, must ratify, they must implement this type of a change, that is called as state ratification amendment. And in this way there are three types of the amendments or changes can be brought under the Constitution of India. That is also one of the important feature of our Constitution. Next, here the number 14, all India services under the part 14, article 315 deals with the establishment of all India services. Here with a view to give a strong administration, with a view to appoint the civil servants to the administration, that is the center and the state, central administration and the state administration. Here all India services are established. So these all India services can be classified in three types. One is central services, all India services and state services. Central services are, they are called as IRS. IRS is Indian Revenue Services. IFS, Indian Foreign Services. So these central services are recruited and controlled by the central government through the UPSC. UPSC is a Union Public Service Commission, is a statutory body established under the Constitution of India. It has a power to recruit these officers. Next, there is a All India Service. These All India services are also recruited through the UPSC by the central government, and these officers are known as IAS, IPS, IFS. IAS is Indian Administrative Service, Indian Police Service. These all India services can be utilized by both center and state. They can be transferred from center to state or state to center, but they are controlled by the central government. And then there is a third type of the services, that is a state service. Every state of Indian Union has given power to recruit civil servants through the SPSC. It is called as SPSC, State Public Service Commission. This SPSC can recruit the civil servants for the states. For Karnataka, there is a KPSC, Karnataka Public Service Commission, and Karnataka Public Service Commission has a power to recruit the officers who are called as KS officers, KSPS officer, Karnataka State Police Services, Karnataka State Administrative Services, KES, Karnataka State Educational Services, etc. So apart from that, there is a JPSC, Joint Public Service Commission. So all this comes under the All India Services under the Part 14, Article 315. Next, one of the most important feature of Indian Constitution is division of powers. As just now I have told you that India is a federal state. India is a federal state, and the concept of federation is there is a division of powers between the center and state. In India, we are having three types of the powers. That is, one is union list, which contains 97 subjects. 97 subjects means 97 powers, which are in the hands of the central government. Central government can control these 97 powers of subjects. For example, defense, foreign affairs, railway, petroleum, income tax, audit, expenditure, finance. All this comes under the control of central government, under the union list. And on this, only central government has a power to take the decision and make the laws. No state government can interfere in this. The secondly, there is a state list. State list contains 66 subjects. 66 subjects means in this 66 subjects only state government can take the decisions. For example, police, education, laws, and many other PWD works, road development, bridges, etc. This all comes under the state government, and state government has the power to take the decision or make the laws. And third type of division of power is, that is concurrent list. This concept of concurrent list has been borrowed from Australia. The concept of concurrent list has been borrowed from Australia, and there are 52 subjects included into the concurrent list. And in this concurrent list, both government, center and state, has a power to make the laws, can take the decision. For example, education, both government can make the laws on the education. Criminal laws, both government can make the laws, take the decision. Divorce, marriage, agriculture, and all these type of such subjects where both governments can make the laws and take the decisions. So these are the few salient features of Indian Constitution. So let's stop here. We'll back next video for the remaining parts. So thank you.